Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're obviously out here in the garage. We've got Archer right back here. We've got the bike next to me, and we've got some parts in a box that I'm gonna go ahead and unbox and show you guys what we're putting on today. Also, just because it just came, it is Friday, it is iPhone release day. I wanted to show you guys this thing. Look how skinny this phone is. This is amazing. I wasn't gonna upgrade. I love my 16 Pro Max, but as soon as they announced the Air, they got me. I had to do it. So this will be the last video shot on the 16 Pro Max. Going forward, I'm gonna be using this along with my Sony, my GoPro, whatever else I have as well. But for stuff like this where we're in the garage, I can set up my tripod and I can very easily just transfer this to my iPad to edit. So this will be primary mostly, again though, depending on the situation. All right, enough me yapping. Let's take a look at what's in the box. Does this look familiar? It looks familiar to me.
Yay!
Okay. That's right, we got more parts from Motocomposites. More carbon fiber for the monster. Now, unfortunately for me, I ordered these parts, they were on back order, and by the time they shipped, the tariffs changed and I had to pay UPS some amount of money to get these delivered to me. I was not thrilled about it. I almost refused it and just said, nope, send them back, but here we are. I got the parts, it is what it is. Let's go ahead and get these unpacked, show you what we got, and we'll put them on the bike. And again, just as before, the packaging was bubble wrapped, it was taped, it is double foam, and just overall, just really, really good packing. So first thing we have is a very small part. It is the little radiator cover that goes like right over here. I'll show you guys in a second. Same carbon style, that like plain weave, glossy, to match everything else that I've already installed. And next, we've got the sprocket cover. That's gonna go on the other side of the bike. I'll show you that once we go ahead and install it. Again, just the quality, very, very nice. Up next, the engine cover. This is also gonna go on the other side. I believe, I'm pretty sure, looking at this side, yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm correct there. I think this goes on the other side of the bike, but there's that. Second to last here, we've got one more to open after this. We've got the clutch cover. That's gonna go like right down there. You can see the plastic piece right here. That's gonna go there. And the last bit, which actually is two pieces. These are also engine covers, and these are gonna go right here, that piece right there. So unfortunately, we've got to move the frame slider out of the way to install this, but that'll look a lot cooler than the black plastic, I think, at least. Archer, what do you think, buddy? He agrees. Now, as I organize these and I move some stuff around, you might be asking yourself, or you might be asking me, why? Why are you doing all this? Why are you putting so much carbon fiber on the bike? It's really not gonna make that big of a difference because the pieces are plastic, and honestly, it's not gonna be that much weight saving. But why not? I mean, it's a motorcycle, it's very sporty, it's fast. The plastic, honestly, it just looks cheap. I think this looks much cooler. Now, if I had the budget for it, I would just replace everything in carbon and make the whole bike carbon. But the tank fairings, the rear, the tail, and all, it gets quite expensive. Eventually, maybe, perhaps, in the immediate future, I do still plan on wrapping the red. Now, I might do a full color change. I do have some vinyl here at the house now that I'm gonna test out and see how it looks. But they also make a kit that is not complete coverage, but it will go on like the big main pieces. And actually I found one I really like, and it's kind of almost like a racing livery with the Italian flag colors. It goes on the red bike, so the colors blend into it well, and it looks pretty cool. So you guys might see me do that in a future video, but for now, let's go ahead and install some carbon. All right, so first piece we're gonna do is quite comical on how easy it's gonna be. We're just gonna use an H4, and we're gonna take out this bolt right here. Look at that, new piece. All right, we are 1/5 of the way done. How about that? And while we're on this side, let's go ahead and do the clutch cover. Different size. This is gonna be a 3. It does look like there might be spacers here. Let me just check. And that will just slide right off. Oh, okay, I see what it is. So technically this is like a bolt, I guess it looks like. Yeah, because that's not coming off. So that's holding the housing cover on, and then the bolt that holds the cover on will actually go into that. It's pretty neat. All right, slightly different camera angle probably. This one took some modification. It did not go right on kind of annoyed by that because of just how expensive these things are. But up here, it wasn't lining up with the hole. So on the back side, there was a little bit of buildup of like resin. So I went ahead and just sanded that down with a file, and now it fits. Okay, and now we're gonna go ahead and knock out this engine cover. As you can see, I already went ahead and loosened the frame slider. Now I did put this bolt back in, and I kept the top bolt in, and I believe I can go ahead and maneuver around this to just go ahead and pull this cover out. So let's go ahead and give that a shot. For these, we're gonna go back to the 4. Fairly easy to get out. Brilliant. So we went ahead and got that off. Ooh, there's foam on the back of here. Let me see if I can take this off and transfer it to the new piece. All right, so I was able to pull the foam off without too many casualties. I think I'm gonna leave it on. I kind of super glued it a little bit, and also, sorry if you hear the fan in the background. It's kind of hot in the garage right now. But, I mean, it was on the OEM piece, so we're gonna go ahead and throw it on the carbon piece. Let's go ahead and put this back on. All right, that wasn't terrible. And actually the foam, it looks like the bottle rests up against the foam, so that makes sense. I'm glad I put that back on there. Let's go ahead and put the frame slider back up. All right, everything is back in place. I'm gonna go ahead and retorque those bolts down to 90 Newton meters. And now let's go to the other side. All right guys, so honestly, I did this one without you. It was the same thing as the other side, although I did have to pull off the entire frame slider because there is a screw back behind here that I couldn't quite get to. So pulled off the bottom bolt, put it back in, pulled off the top bolt, put it back in, swapped out the cover. There was foam. I went ahead and reused that foam, took it off the back of the OEM one, reinstalled it on there, screwed it back in, torqued these bolts back down to 90 Newton meters, and we're good to go. Next, we're moving over here. We've got a sprocket cover and one of the engine covers. Let's go ahead and take them off. Start with the sprocket cover first. Most likely, ooh, different size. How about that? All right, that should fit. Yep, so that's gonna be a 5. Had to grab an extension because there is one down here. These do have some Loctite on them, so they're gonna be a little tighter than the other bolts, but nothing too crazy. All right, so there's the sprocket cover. Next, let's go ahead and do this engine cover, and then we are done. Surprise, surprise, we're going back to the 4. And this only has one bolt, crazy enough. Oh, I was incorrect. Of course, there's one up top underneath that panel. Oh joy, so let's go ahead and pop that off. That escalated quickly. Yeah, the bolt is here under the gas tank. So it looks like there's enough room to fit an Allen key in there. I'm gonna go ahead and grab an Allen and we're gonna pop this cover off once and for all. Okay, and just like that, it's on. I did have to use a little Allen key. And on the factory tab, there was a one of those slip-on nut cert things that goes on here. So pop that off with a pick tool, transferred it to that one, use the Allen key, tighten that, and we're good to go. Now I'm gonna put the tank cover back on and the side panel and the light and put this thing back together. All right guys, it is back together. Luckily I've taken this apart before, so I know how it goes back together. And just a little recap. We did the little engine cover here, sprocket cover here, engine cover behind the frame slider, engine cover behind this frame slider, the clutch cover, and the tiniest piece, the little radiator side cover. Now I have been getting out there and riding. Tonight there is a meet for a little kid actually, 11-year-old boy. He is going in Sunday for surgery. He's got stage 4 cancer. So his mom organized a meet and I believe a ton of people are gonna show up. So I think I'm gonna ride the bike. I think I might take the truck, we'll see. I don't know how I'm feeling yet, but I have been out getting some practice in on this, out on the streets, around people, around cars. I've had one person pull out of me so far. That was a good time. Obviously, we're all good. But yeah, so that might be the plan for later today. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up. My neighbor, he's outside being loud, doing some weed whacking or something, but hopefully the mic's blocking that noise out and all you can hear is me. Not sure what kind of bike updates I'll have next. Probably no more installs. I think from here on out, it might just be a lot of riding POV style. I've got the chin mount for the helmet, so I'm gonna throw my GoPro on there, get some riding content so you can see what I see. I do still kind of want to wrap the bike, so we'll see how that goes. And of course, if I do it, I'll update you guys. I'm gonna have a truck ownership video coming up soon. We're just gonna talk about like the tune, the stuff I've done to the truck. I'm gonna show you a few new mods I've done to the truck that I have not filmed. So be sure to stay tuned for that one. As always, thanks so much for stopping by. Don't forget to like and subscribe and comment and all that good stuff. If you're around the area and you have a bike or a truck or whatever, let me know. We'll meet up, we'll go for a little ride. And until next time, see you guys later.